Hello everybody, Nostalgic here, and welcome to another reaction. We are finally beginning the Stories of Sodor Season 6. Now, last episode was a bit of a roller coaster, and even more so, fans were a bit pissed with the ending. I'm not gonna lie, so was I.
While I was at the works, he told me that Thomas did not survive his injuries. What?
I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Goodbye. But at the very least, this new episode, I hope, can give us some closure on what happened last season. As I can see, it's a new intro. So, Victor, I'm really appreciating the effort that you're putting into the series. And I am hoping that the series will further improve from here. So, with that, I'm not going to stall any further. I'm not going to keep on chatting. Let's start the episode in 3, 2, 1, and play.
The train, for its type, is the most powerful vehicle on land.
Okay, the first shot was different.
And the engines of Sodor are the power behind the docks, industries, and branch lines that make up the world-renowned Northwestern Railway. These are the stories of Sodor.
Again, this intro is iconic. So, in all honesty, Victor, you're really doing well, buddy. Oh, the 3D face of Rosie. That's another big thing. Wait a sec. Okay. Usually in this shot, we have Thomas moving by with Annie and Clarabelle. But apparently, and at least from what I can tell, because, well, trust me, I see the silhouette of the engine, I know that that is Joey. You cannot hide that from me. And another change. Apparently, Thomas isn't here, and it's obvious as to why, because of what happened last time. So now we have numbers 2 to 7 instead of numbers 1 to 6. Jesus.
It seems I still have one more story to tell from 1965. We were pretty shaken by the events of the previous months. That we had lost so many friends was a bitter pill to swallow. However, we knew they wouldn't want us to wallow in grief. They'd expect us to persevere, and that's exactly what we did. Oh, there were times the melancholy became too much. When that happened, we would talk about it with each other or our new fire and rescue chief. Yes, Derek was appointed to the position after Mickey died. Like his predecessor, he responded swiftly to emergencies and provided counseling when necessary. Needless to say, he was kept very busy. In addition to his regular duties, he also oversaw the reconstruction of Brendam Docks. Shortly after that was completed, the Class 17 had to help Henry with a very serious issue. What happened?
Okay, I'm loving what he's doing with Derek's character development. At first, he was just a new recruit. He was just a new recruit on the fire and rescue service, but now he's grown to the position of chief after Mickey had passed away. Well, not passed away, died because of the accident that had happened at Brendam, and even more so that there was an explosive near the scrapyards that they were near. Yeesh, yeesh, yeesh.
Happened? I don't know. One moment I was backing down towards the kipper when all of a sudden I stopped. Did you break down? No, I just froze. I can't understand it. Typical this would happen now. What do you mean? Sir Topham told me the client is thinking about cancelling their contract. They lost a lot of money when me and Jeffrey crashed. And is this the first time you've taken the kipper since your accident? Yes. Then it's perfectly normal you'd be scared. Except I didn't have this problem after my crash back in 38. You didn't? No. After I was repaired, I went right back to pulling the kipper like nothing ever happened. Does that make me a monster? Of course not. Why would it? Because a man died that time, and you nearly died this time. Like I said, it's normal you'd be afraid of something that reminds you of that. Then what should I do? Perhaps you could try shunting the kipper for the others. In a controlled environment like the yard, you could rebuild your confidence and work towards taking it again. What do you think? Sounds like a good idea. All right, we'll try it tomorrow. Will do. Thanks, Chief. Chief, it's still strange hearing that.
And understandably so, because you're the new fire and rescue chief at this point, Derek. But to see a lot of this, and especially with a lot that has happened over the past season, Henry is still shaken up over his accident, especially the one with Michael Creedy when he died. And let's not even mention what had happened in Season 5 when, the brother of Mr. Hall, he tried to murder Henry because he blames him for his accident. Seriously. A lot of what had happened, it was aggravating to see last season, definitely. But with what I'm seeing here, holy shit. The continuity is well done, and I'm really liking Derek's character development. Again, Victor, you're doing an excellent job, especially with starting the new season off right. I said it in a community post, and I'll say it again. Very reminiscent of what had happened during the previous season. Seriously, this is almost the first episode of Season 5 all over again. But this time, we see Donald's accident happen earlier on, because, as I remember, we saw Peter before that, and how some vandals had tagged his tender with something very, very cruel.
Deja vu. Tell me about it. My valve gear jammed again. At least nobody died this time. Donald, it's alright, Derek. I don't blame myself. Just making an observation. Well, if you need to talk, thank you, Chief. In a way, I'm glad I'm here. I need to have a word with Rob. Take any word you want, it's yours. How about sorry? For what? For accusing you of your brother's crimes. I realized this morning I didn't apologize for that. Or your father.
In all honesty, if I was in this fictional world, I'd apologize too. Hell, in all honesty, I thought it was Robert Hall who had caused those accidents. But what I didn't realize is that it was his brother. I didn't even think. That's the thing, because when it came to the murder mystery plot of the season, you have to think about these things, and I didn't think about the whole Michael Creedy 2 boys thing. I honestly thought it was just Mr. Hall. Ah, well. Anyway, moving on.
I'm so sorry. It's alright, Donald. It wasn't your fault. I've known the details of that crash for a very long time. As for accusing me of what Sean did, I can't say I blame you. Do you have any idea why he acted the way he did? He was always so troubled. He got worse after he found our mother's body. And when we went to live with our uncle, let's just say he picked up too many bad habits from that drunk. How do you feel about all that? Guilty. Maybe if I tried to help him more, none of this would have happened. But when I went to work for BR, he punched me in the face. That was when I cut him off. You did the right thing. You had to take care of yourself. Even so, well, I'm here for you too. We all are. Thank you, lads. I think I'll be all right. Anyway, let's get this valve gear sorted. And Derek, you wanted me to remind you to visit the Farquhar branch today. Oh, right. Thank you, Rob. Is this because of Percy? I heard he's been a little upset lately.
Yep, yep. I mean, I've seen this sneak preview, so I'll say this. It makes a whole lot of sense as to why Derek would need to go to the Farquhar branch line, and even more so to comfort Percy. Because remember, last season, Thomas died, so emotionally, this would affect Percy, Toby, and everyone else who had known him. Even Kate, for all I know. Hell, they were in a romantic relationship until season 4, when they broke up. Then they started becoming mutual friends again in season 5. And then, season 5, boom, Thomas went to Barry Island Scrapyard. Again, there is hope that he might come back, as evident by the comment that Victor left on the video from last time. But it's not enough evidence to say that Thomas will come back.
Lately, that may be putting it mildly. Deja vu. Let's hope not. I'm sure Mavis doesn't fancy flying down the line again. Neither do I. Oh, bog off you two. All right, Percy, that's enough. Ever since we got back, you've been acting like a pillock. What's wrong? What's wrong? Have you gone senile or something? Thomas is dead. I'm painfully aware of that. But getting angry won't bring him back. It makes me feel better, and I wouldn't be so angry if you hadn't. What? If I hadn't what? Nothing. No. Tell me, what did I...
What was that? Whoa. What? What? Victor, what the fuck was that? So, you're making Percy go through some kind of psychological problem? What in the absolute fuck is this? I have never been so shocked in all my life. For Percy to see the corpse of his best friend right in front of him as an illusion, that is, oh, good God Almighty! Let's continue with the episode, shall we?
I'm sorry, I was startled. This is the third time that's happened since we got back. Is this true, Percy?
Whoa, wait, this has happened more than once? Good Lord.
If it is, I'm not allowed to be startled? Of course you are. Is there a particular reason? No. All right, let's leave this aside for the moment. Would you like to talk about the argument you had with that new postman the other day? How do you know about that? Has Terence been gossiping again, or was it Grandad over there? Grandad? Percy, there's no need for name-calling. I gather it was the postman's name that set you off. Mr. Thomas Tipper? I thought he was having me on. I overreacted and I said I was sorry. Well, it's clear Thomas's death is still bothering you. Of course it fucking is. Why wouldn't it? Then it's important we work through it. That's why I'm here, to help you. Like you did at Brindham. Ha! That's a laugh. You're completely useless. You and the henhouse over there. Why...
I need to take off my glasses for this, because this... Seriously, what? Percy, why are you acting like this? Why are you lashing out at Derek? Why are you lashing out at Toby? What did they do wrong? Fucking hell. Seriously, Victor, what is this? I don't get it. I don't understand. What is going on? Why is Percy lashing out? Look, I'll keep watching through the episode to see why Percy is acting this way, but still, I wish I could get an answer out of you, Mr. Tanzig. Because as much as I enjoy your content, there are so many questions and so little time. That's all I'll say.
And I do. Same thing as Derek. Nothing. Why they made you chief is beyond me. Clearly we have a lot to talk about. I don't want to talk about it with anyone. I'm going back to work. Goodbye. I'm sure he didn't mean it. I'm sure he did. He's not entirely wrong. If anybody let the side down that night, it was me. At least you were there. I'm sure you would have been more useful than I was. Why did they make me Chief Terrence? It can't be because of experience. You beat me on that front, but I'm not exactly built for speed. So did they pick me out of convenience? No, they picked you because Mickey made it clear he wanted you to take his place someday. He did? Oh yes, he knew you were up to the task. That's a matter of opinion. I don't seem to be having much luck with Percy. Remember what Mickey used to say? You can't help someone who won't help themselves. And I never really agreed with that. If someone is hurting, shouldn't we do everything in our power to help them? Yes, but if you push too hard, they could shut down entirely. Or worse, they could come to permanently resent you. Just give Percy some time. I'm sure he'll come around. And if he doesn't, we'll respond accordingly. In the meantime, I suggest we focus on Henry. Your idea sounds like a good one, only if it works.
I love how Terrence is taking on a parental role here as well. Even more so, respecting Mickey's last wishes to say that if anyone were to take Mickey's place, it would be Derek. I like that. I like that very much. But still, let's see how the story develops. Again, the ideas behind all of this are absolutely okay. They're good. I can see what's going on here. Emotional trauma for Percy, as well as that experience. Well, getting more and more experience out of being a fire and rescue chief for Derek. As well as that, we're getting to see more conflicts like Toby and Percy. And even more so, we saw a conflict resolution between Donald and Mr. Rob. I'm liking this so far. I'm liking it. Victor, don't take the rage too seriously, okay? It's just I just want to express my opinions like this, okay? I'm not saying that this is bad. This is good. Although, Percy's behavior needs some adjustment. That's all I'll say. Okay, let's see how everything goes with the flying kicker. There's Emily.
I'm sorry about that, Henry. Me too. It's so embarrassing. I went up against the might of the Third Reich, no worries, but a couple of fish fans has me cowering in fear. I was so sure Derek's idea would work. Oh, what a surprise! The failures idea failed. Bust my buffers! Percy has become a horrid sort, hasn't he, Annie? Oh yes, Clarabelle. He's dreadfully rude. I feel quite ashamed. So am I. Really, Henry? You too? What do you expect? I heard you've been acting like a pillock. I know you're angry about Thomas, but shh! Keep your voice down! What for? The passengers! This is a real tour after all. Percy, Thomas's death made national headlines. I'm sure they know. But maybe the children don't. So what are you going to do if they ask about him? Lie? If I have to, well, here's your chance.
Let's see how this goes.
Hello there, I'm Percy. What's your name? Hank? Where's Thomas? Doesn't he pull Annie and Clarabelle? Yes, he does, but he's...
Oh, putting on my glasses again. Put on my glasses. glasses. Jesus.
It's a miracle nobody was hurt.
Damn right, Toby. Jesus, this is going to, no, I'm saying it now. With what is happening with Percy, this is going to affect the passenger and stock numbers incredibly. Like seriously, Percy. I know I know he's going through some tough times, but again, I've got to see this. I've got to see what's going on here.
But you can be sure they demanded their money back. Spare me, Toby. Sir Topham already gave me an earful, and whatever you have to say, Derek, you are going to listen to. I was prepared to wait and see if you would come around, but not anymore. For your safety and everyone else's, we need to bust my buffers. Go away! Who are you talking to? No one! Percy, have you been seeing Thomas? No, you have, haven't you? Bloody hell. Why didn't you say anything? Because I know he's not real. It's all in my head. What does he do? Nothing. He just stands there. And I blame you two for this. What did we do? I wanted to help Thomas, but you told me to stay. We had to contain the fire. It was contained, Toby. And when the Krakatoa sank, it went out completely. I couldn't have known she'd keel over right then. Neither could you. Well, maybe you could have gone to help Thomas if you hadn't been covering for Derek. I didn't force my motor to fail. It just did. Believe me, I wish I could have done more that night. I'm sure we all do, but we did our best. If that was true, nobody would have died. Least of all your best friend. Exactly. Why did he have to die? Mickey used to say when it comes to tragedy, you should never ask why. You'll drive yourself mad trying to come up with an answer. Then what can I do? What you're doing now. Talk about it with those who care. I'm sure Toby does. Absolutely. I know how you feel, Percy. I'm devastated about Thomas too. I knew him for a very long time, and I know he wouldn't want us arguing about his death. You're right. You wouldn't, would you? Bust my buffers. I'm talking to an illusion. I've completely lost the plot, haven't I? Then let's help you find it again.
Very good.
I'll be seeing them again tomorrow. We've got a lot of work to do, but I think they'll be all right. I'm sure they will too. Well done, Chief. I knew you could do it. Half do it anyway. My idea for Henry didn't work. Maybe we need to try a different approach. Or maybe I need to learn more about his first accident with the Kipper. You were around for that, weren't you? Is it true he didn't have any problems taking it after he was repaired?
Well, with what I'm seeing now, there is good character development going on, and especially for Percy. Now he's going to talk about his problems with Toby and Derek, so as to say that he's not going to be afraid to consolidate some help anymore. Because at this point, let's face it, let's face it. At one point or another, we all need help, don't we? And, what else is there to say? Derek, I'm proud of him for actually standing up for himself, especially when Percy was about to give him an earful. I am especially happy with how they're handling this situation. Now that Percy is talking about the fact that he's seeing Thomas right in front of his eyes, and the rest can't see him, then that just further proves that Percy has trauma. Well, it's sort of the same thing as Sir Topham had back in Season 4. Yikes. To say the least, I hope that all of this will be sorted either by the end of the episode or throughout the entirety of the season. Because so far, this season is impressing me with its storytelling. A bit of conflict here and there, new beginnings, new things to talk about. So, let's keep moving.
Yes, in fact, he was eager to get back to it. How did he feel about Mr. Creedy's death? He was devastated, but not so devastated he wouldn't take it. He was devoted. Now that I think about it, almost everything that's happened this year can be traced back to that crash. Maybe he's feeling guilty about all of that. If that's the case, I know just the man who can help.
Robert.
Oh, morning, Rob. What are you doing here? Derek asked me to come along. Why? Because I think it's time you two had a talk. I gather you haven't actually spoken about the accident that killed Rob's father. Bust my buffers. You're right. I'm sorry, Rob. I'm so sorry. It's all right, Henry. I don't blame you or anyone else for what happened. You don't? How? It's because of me you ended up with your uncle. It's because of me your brother came after us. No, it isn't. All of that happened because of bad weather and bad luck. It wasn't your fault. I forgive you. Oh, thank you, Rob. You have no idea how much that means to me. You're a good man. I'm sure you take after your father. Did you know him? No, I didn't. Maybe that's why you didn't have any problems taking the kipper afterwards, because the victim wasn't known to you. That doesn't make it any less tragic, but the death of a stranger is bound to impact you less than that of a friend. And Jeffrey was your friend, wasn't he? He was. And I remember what you said after he died. Do you really think it should have been you? I don't know. God, I'm a mess, aren't I? That's why I'm here, to help you through it. But before we talk, would you mind fetching the kipper? Sure thing.
Good. More development. Liking it. And especially because of the fact that Henry would have been messed up from the events of last season. So, yeah. Let's move forward with this.
Derek, you're a genius. I know. I'm pleased to say this triumph restored Henry's confidence, enabling him to once again take his favorite train. Unfortunately, it would only be for a short time. While the client wouldn't cancel their contract, they also wouldn't renew it at the end of the season. And so the flying kipper was decommissioned. Henry was able to take it out one final time, ensuring the service ended on an extremely high note. Derek was able to help Toby and Percy by mending the rift between them, and after a lot of work, our number 6 stopped having hallucinations. He also made amends with everyone he offended and returned to being his really useful self.
Good. Thank God. In all honesty, if Percy started acting that way throughout the entirety of the season, I would have been pissed. But to see that he got through it by the end of the episode, well done, Victor. Well done. Very good, very good.
As an aside, he and the rest of the Farquhar engines would tell anyone who visited their line the truth about Thomas, not to be morbid, but to ensure his heroism was remembered. The rest of the year passed without incident. Needless to say, we were very happy to see it end, though I'd be lying if I said the new one didn't have its own problems. But that is a story for another day.
Wait, as in New Year? It's a bit much to think about. But at the very least, this was an excellent start. Alright, sure, we had a bit of conflict, but that doesn't mean it wasn't good. Okay, so that's gonna do it for this video, guys, and I hope you enjoyed. To be honest, for my final thoughts on this video, let's see what else the future holds. I know probably Joey will be taking over as Thomas. No, will be taking over the branch line, not as Thomas, but as Thomas's replacement before he can come back, or until they can find another engine like Thomas. One theory I have is the following. Okay, remember how Arthur came back at the end of Season 3? Well, here's my theory. Thomas will come back, but as an engine straight out of the works. He doesn't know who anyone is. He doesn't know who Percy is, who Toby is, who anyone is. He's an out-of-the-works engine, and he won't remember a thing. It will basically be Arthur all over again, but that's my theory on the situation. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this reaction. Bye for now. This is Nostalgic signing off and reminding you all that nostalgia never dies. See ya!